angels online. The angels online. The angels, the angels, the angels online.
Good people, good people. 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 What's going on, y'all? We in the building, episode 2, season 2, The Angels Online, Voice of the Unheard. And today, we are going to be discussing teen pregnancy, okay? It's a topic. It was requested by the youth. As you know, season 2 is brought to you by the youth. It was requested by them to talk about it because some of their parents were teen parents. Some of them had a good life. Some of them explained that they struggled a little bit growing up, and they remember growing up. So understand, 13, 14, 12, 11, these kids be remembering, and they acknowledge it. So that's what we do. We acknowledge you got to get the people what they want. All right. To my right over here, I got my first person that's going to be speaking with us. And on the line, we got my second person that's going to be speaking with us. First person, go ahead, tell them who you are.
My name is Shannon.
We got Shannon in the building. And on the mic, on the phone, who we got?
Elisha, a.k.a. Determined Marie.
Okay,
Period,
Determined
poo.
Marie. Determined Marie. My middle name Marie, too. I think that means her name probably Marie. That's me, too. You know, we Marie's kind of tight. All right, we're going to get straight to it because we got to get the people what they want, and they want to hear about teen
Say it
pregnancy.
like you mean
You got to get the people
That's right.
what they want.
That's right.
Don't get me started, Shannon. Don't get me
That's
started.
right.
We just got on air.
Say it with your chest.
All right.
Whoa.
Do all be.
Got to do it for the one time.
Yeah, we have fun while we in the studio. Just so y'all know, you got to do it. You got to give life. You got to have fun.
right.
Now, first question I'm gonna ask each one of these ladies. I'm gonna ask Shannon first. When did you teen pregnancy? When did you get pregnant, or when did you have a child? Let us know. Just give us that.
I had my daughter at 17.
Okay, pregnant at 16.
Yes.
Okay, Alicia, talk to me.
Wow. I young. I got pregnant at the age of 14. I had my baby when I was 15.
Okay, what year was that?
I got pregnant in 1991 and I had my baby in 1991.
Okay, and Shannon, you
April.
got April 1991. Okay,
I got pregnant and I had her in December of 1991.
okay, and then Shannon, what year? What?
I got pregnant in 2003, and I had my daughter in 2004.
Okay, so what that just did was let us know a generation gap there. Okay, so teen pregnancy in 91 versus teen pregnancy in 94, 2003 and 2004. Okay, two different generations. Okay, man, what options did you have when you discovered you were pregnant? Did you think about abortion? Those are options that I mean. Adoption, abortion. Were you ready to embrace parenthood? Alicia, let's go with you first.
I knew of abortion, but it was never an option for me to terminate my pregnancy. And besides, I was a freshman in high school, and my mother didn't find out I was pregnant until I was 6 months pregnant. So,
Okay. And then Shannon?
When I found out, I was, I think, 5 months because I had like irregular menstrual cycles anyway. I didn't gain weight. I found out basically at like a checkup. So during that time, abortion was like out the picture, and it wasn't an option for as something I thought about ever getting. Being in the church and having a mother that was in church and my grandma, it was like there was no such thing as abortion and terminating a pregnancy. So I already knew I was going to keep my child.
Okay, okay. Where did you go, or who did you ask for help from? I mean, if your parent didn't know till 5 months, but you didn't know till 5 months, Alicia's mom didn't know till 6 months in, but she knew. So beforehand, or who did you confide in, Alicia at least, or who did you go to for help?
Well, me, I really went through the pregnancy alone. And what had happened was I was going to school, and my gym teacher, I was running around the track, and I just kept holding my stomach. So she called my mother and told her to take me to get a physical. But before then, I was spending the summer with my nosy Aunt Mabel, and she kind of knew something was going on because I would go over there with like maxi pads, but I would never use them on my menstrual cycle. So she kept saying, something's not right. You're not using those pads. Are you pregnant? And I was saying no. So I pretty much went through it alone until my mother took me to the doctor and found out that I was 6 months pregnant.
Okay, and after you found out for 5 months, who did you, who did you, where did you go, or who did you ask for help, Shannon?
I didn't have to ask for help. I had like a close knit immediate family, so um, I knew my mom was gonna be there at the time. My daughter, dad, and I, we were still together, so I had a support system. But you know how you got your moments where you like, am I really pregnant? Or yeah, I am pregnant. Okay, I feel the baby flutter, the baby moving. Like it was just I had support, but then again, it was still times where I just wanted to be by myself.
Okay, how did y'all parents react when they found out?
Well, with my mom, I think she was mad. I mean, for as any parent, because my mom is also a teen parent. She had me when she was 16. So,
Ah,
um, we didn't like she didn't like be mean or belittle me or judge me. But she let me know like that's my child. I'm gonna have to take care of my child. So
okay. And what about you, Alicia?
Well, it was more so that my mother was in awe, like, how did this happen? Who's the dad? I got more support from my mother in terms of the pregnancy, like, you pregnant, and just like Shannon's mother, she expressed to me that that's your child. You're gonna have to take care of your child. And I couldn't rely on the father of the child at that time, and his family was not supportive. Like his dad wasn't in this life, but his mother was like, he had two older sisters, so they were both pregnant at the same time I was.
Mm.
So his
wow.
mother had this ambition of him being a basketball player. So she told me to my face when my mother took me over there that she just couldn't accept my child
Wow.
because
Ooh,
she wanted her son to pursue a basketball career.
wow. And we talking about Shannon in 2003, 2004, and you this 1991. Wow. Okay. Okay. Man. So there was no one that you really confided in, determined Marie, Alicia.
Like I said, I pretty much went through the pregnancy alone for the first 6 months. I mean, by the time my mother found out, I was at a term to where I could have the baby. Like I could have had the baby any day, because I was
Right.
like going into my third trimester. It was just like I just felt alone, even though I physically lived with my mother. I felt alone in the sense that I felt like I was kind of like frowned upon, like I made a major mistake. I messed up my life. So, as far as the financial support, my mother was there. But as far as that that
Emotional.
mental and emotional support.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I really didn't have that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Shannon, you said you had that or
Yeah, I had
mental and emotional.
yeah, I
Okay.
had mental, emotional, and like financial help, but um during that time when I was pregnant, it was like tit for tat for as animosity, I would say, um with me and my child's father, mother. We just like butted heads a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
it was things that happened during my pregnancy where um I could have been like high risk because I was put in certain situations, but other than that, he was still supportive. Like he was still there. So
Okay. Okay. Um, what about after the babies were born? The biological fathers, like Alicia, you said that the mother did not want a part of it. After your child was born, was there support by him at least? Did he acknowledge the baby? Was there support from the biological father?
Well, he came to the hospital after she was born,
Mm-hmm.
and I named my baby after her dad. Her name is Tony, after her dad. And we both. The thing about it is, back in 1991, he was just a year older than me. I'm sorry. So I'm 15. He's 16. We're both in school. If he couldn't get support from his family, he's still a kid himself.
Yeah.
So
right,
really, the only thing he could do is show up physically.
Right.
right,
Because at that time, I don't even think he could get a job, or anybody was even trying to help him be resourceful. I mean, I feel like he wanted to, but it was just like we were both young, and he was lost because he didn't have that support that he needed. So he was made to feel like you made a mistake and this is it for you. There's
right.
no more life left. You're a young father, and this is the end of the road. So
And you mentioned he didn't have his father. So, and if he got a house of girls pregnant, then his mom is being negative in regards to having a new grandchild. I can't accept it because my son's supposed to play basketball.
Right.
He has no positive guidance.
That's true.
yeah, he had no guidance, he had no support. And
1991.
so me always being independent, I'm like, I have this baby. I'm like, this is my baby.
Right.
So no matter what happens, I'm a kid with a baby. I gotta grow up, and that's what I did.
Yep.
And then Shannon, the birth of your child, when she was born, the biological father stayed around.
Yes. We were still together. We stayed together. Um, I would say until she was 3. But he was around. I mean, it was a struggle. Not like a bad one, but I mean, me and his mom, we we still like beefed. Um, and being a new mom, I was just picky about who I wanted around my kid. And when my kid get her shots, then people can come visit. But until then, no, you need to put this hand sanitizer on and wash your hands and do what you got to do. But I mean,
My question, Alicia, when you got pregnant, were you opting for parenthood, or was it just an accident? Did it come?
Well, go
What did
ahead.
it
What did
come?
you?
What did it come? What did it stem from? Did it stem from your father not being there? You just had a companion, or you know, was your father in your life? Or did you have a male figure around, or did you feel like you wanted attention? Where did it come from? Were you getting that attention at home? You know how some people do things, act out of whatever situation they may have going on.
I wouldn't say it was so much as acting out. When my mother was a teen mother also.
Okay.
So she had me at the age of 17. So the thing about it is, it was ignorant to the fact we can tell our children all day long don't have sex, but we
mm-hmm.
also need to let them know that if they become curious, and if sexual intercourse was to take place, what do you do to prevent pregnancy?
Let's talk
Because
about it.
Yeah.
we,
Okay.
we, we, we always tend to say, don't do this,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to know the
Why?
steps to take, what
Right.
to do, so we can resolve an issue beforehand. And I was always told, don't have sex, don't be with boys, but never told, you know, well, if the thought occurred, or if a male was to come to you and ask you that, these are the steps that you take. So my pregnancy was a mere one time me having sexual intercourse, and it with no protection. Thank God I didn't catch any STDs, but he was someone that would come around because my mother worked a lot, and I was young, and I felt like he maybe showed me some attention, and me just being ignorant to facts, just had sex for the first time and got pregnant.
Mm.
So it was a mere mistake, but I owned up to that mistake.
Mm. I love the way you just said that because it symbolizes what the Angels Online is about. Give them the information now. Don't say, oh, just don't do that. Let's talk about it.
Yep.
Let's give the options. Let's find out. You know what? Because you're gonna do what you want to do at the end of the day, anyways. How about we teach you how to do it safely, how to,
Okay.
be protective, and things of that nature. Stop hiding these conversations because little do you know, they're thinking about it. They talking about it. I just told you where this episode came from. It came from a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, 12-year-old who want to talk. Let's talk about it. I want to know about it, because they've seen it. They've experimented it. When I say experimented, they've been that child with that teen mother, and they
Yep.
saw them either go through, they saw that their grandma or grandpa was upset that they were there because they hear things and they see it. These kids see things, so be mindful of those. Mindfulness is important. Shannon, what about you?
Kind of piggyback off Alicia. Yes, it was a one-time thing and a mistake. For as with me, um, I had things that happened in my past, and it's going to be another episode. But during that time when I met my child's father, we were friends for a year, and then um, something happened to me, and there was a person I confided in, and I found, I guess, comfort, and he was like my protector, and he was my little help I needed to get through whatever I was going through, and I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, and I guess from what stemmed from that, um, I was told I didn't get a lot of information for us about sex and what happened. It was just basically a conversation that was like never brought up. Um, the church I went to, we had like youth fairs, and they would talk to us about STDs and what happens, and I learned stuff from that. But it was like not a conversation I had with my mom. So basically, it was just I made a mistake. I lived with it. I wouldn't say I was embarrassed about it or anything. It was just like they always told you, when you be grown, and you gotta be grown because you got a baby. So
Don't do it halfway, huh?
right. So I embraced my motherhood, and I took it as to I never got like sad about what happened to me or being a teen mom. I had friends, but I was always an introvert, so I didn't really care about giving up like my free time or whatever. I worked anyway, so it was that motivation. It was like once like I had my daughter and I saw her, it was just like I have to do what I have to do to take care of her, and I'm gonna do whatever I got to protect her. So I never felt like, oh my God, I regret having a kid. I don't want her. It was just like seeing her when I had her, that was like my push, my motivation to keep going. So
I'm gonna ask you this: when you had your child, where did you reside? were you did you have to be get your own place? Did you move in with him? Did you stay at home? Were you already at home? I mean, because at this
I was
time,
already at home. I lived with my mother, and when I graduated high school and started, I was getting ready to start college. Me and her dad, we got our own place.
okay, so y'all stayed together through high school, and you lived with
Hmm
your mom. And then when you graduated and starting school, so you went to school. We gonna talk about afterwards. Okay,
And
okay,
he had to move in with me, so
right,
it was just like
right.
when I was pregnant, some issues happened with him and back at home with his mom, so
Mm-hmm.
he moved in with me and my mom and my sister and my stepdad, and he worked and I worked.
And
So
y'all went to school.
yeah,
Okay.
and I had my child the end of my junior year in his senior year, so he was graduating when I had her.
Oh, okay, okay. He was a year older than you.
Yes.
Oh, y'all a year older than both of you. Both of you done had girls. Boyfriend was a year older. You know. So we gonna go, Alicia. We resorting back to 1991, 91, 92. What was your family, parents, friends being supportive of you? Where did you live? What happened with you? Tell us about it. Let's talk about it.
Well, I stayed with my mother. My mother was we lived in a single parent household. My dad was absent throughout most of my youth years and teenage life. So I stayed with my mother and I got my own place when I was, I think, 16, turning 17, and I've been living on my own ever since. I've
Whoa.
never stayed with my the father of my child because we were never in a relationship, and we could never bond to be in a relationship because, as I said, he had no guidance or anyone telling him the right thing to do is to raise your child with this woman if you know if you see fit. It was condemned for him to live that life. So we were never a couple, we were never in a relationship, and we've never lived with each other.
w- you got a place at 16 in 1992. How they do that? Where they do that? Oh, okay. Did you get a place at 16 by choice? Were you forced to live on your own? Tell me more.
Well, it was certain things that, well, once you have a baby, like Shannon said, you're an adult.
Okay.
So
Right.
I stayed at home with my mother, and at the age of 16, I worked. When I turned, I started working, volunteering when I had my baby. I've been working since I was 15 years old. I worked two jobs and went to high school. The thing about what led me to move was my mother was a single parent. She got married. Things took place in the home. When someone comes along
Hmm.
and some things took place that I didn't agree with, and my mother and I both just basically,
Parted
I
ways.
wanted to leave, but I didn't say it, but she made the step for me to get my own, and she gave me my key, but I was working, so I was making money to pay my own bills.
Hmm.
And she took me to my apartment and was like, here you go, you're grown, you're on your own. It was like a breath of fresh air, but it was like the good versus evil, the good
Yeah.
and the bad, because I was happy to be on my own, but living with my mother was my safe haven.
Yeah, it was a
But
little
I've
scary.
always had to be responsible because even when I lived with my mother, being younger, I would help her with the bills because she didn't have a man. But, can't fault your mom for, she need love too, but that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Okay.
Basically, I went on my own.
Okay. What did you go? What's when you were in high? What school did you attend for high school?
Central Visual and Performing Arts.
Okay, 4 years.
4 years.
Pregnant at all?
Yes,
Graduated.
ma'am. Graduated.
Okay, Alicia.
Went to
What about you?
college.
When I found out I was pregnant, I was in the ninth grade going to Savage Junior High. Then
Going
I
where?
was
I'm sorry.
Salvage Junior High in the
Salvage.
Rockwood School. Yeah, Salvage Junior. Yeah, that's in the Rockwood School District.
Okay.
I was in the ninth grade, And then going into my sophomore year, I attended Continue Ed, which was a school for pregnant women,
Like
women and girls. There were girls there as young as 13 years old, so they put us in the world of our own.
mm-hmm.
And it was located in on the south side of St. Louis off of Hampton, but it's no longer there. But
And they
it was a
changed it
school
to
for,
Meet a P. Is that it?
yes,
Okay.
that school. I attended that school,
What is
and
it? What
then
they change it to? Meet a P.
Meet a P.
Okay, go ahead, Alicia.
and so I had my baby, and after I had my baby, I went back to the Rockwood School District, and I attended Lafayette High School, and I graduated from high school, even though I had a baby, and I continued to work and take care of my baby.
That's right.
But I did like the fact that I did get to go to continue ed because I was somewhat embarrassed of being pregnant, but I was determined not to drop out of high school. So to be in 1991 to be able to go to a school like that amongst people that had a common situation,
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate to have that, because a lot of people have to attend their regular schools where I didn't have to look at my peers shaming me. I mean, after I went back and had the baby, they were like, "What? Why? Where were you?" But to be pregnant and going to school with my peers, I think there would have been a lot of pressure on me. I didn't want that.
Y'all tight. Y'all, y'all tight. That's what I'm
Leave
talking
me
about.
alone. I've been doing this so long.
Okay.
I mean,
Come on. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm overcoming adversity at its top. In fact, when you say, and it probably would have been hard, you bring up that peer pressure or whatever, just being judged, and out in Rockwood. And shout out to Rockwood because I went to Eureka High School, my Lafayette was our, what is that? Rivalry. Yeah, we don't mess with y'all. Nah, I had some friends that were.
Lafayette Lancers.
Yeah, we don't worry about the Lancers. Please don't say that like that on the Angels Online. We mentioned the Wildcats, back then when I was in Eureka. Anyways, we'll go back to that. We'll talk about the Central and Performing Arts.
We was the Eagles.
The Eagles. Oh, okay. So how was it there for you since you went there all 4 years? How did you deal with friends, peers, teachers? Being out of a environment like she experienced, which was people dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with. So there's no way to judge. I mean, we out here just trying to make it together.
I didn't have any issues. It was a couple people, here and there that I saw were pregnant as well, but
Okay.
I was still very much so active in the concert chorale and jazz show choir because
Shoulda known.
my major was vocal music, so I was still performing. I was still competing because I used to sing opera.
Okay,
in
go
high
ahead, hit a
school.
note for us. Hit a
No.
note for us real quick.
I let that go.
Oh, okay.
But I still performed. I
Amen.
still went to like state and regional. I still participated in different plays and stuff we had there.
You could sing.
Yeah, I was still very much so active. So I mean, I had friends. It was just like I didn't really care like what people like thought about me because it was like people are so quick to judge and they don't know a person's past. And just to piggyback off Alicia, I didn't have my dad. I was blessed to get a stepdad at the age of 15 that didn't put stepdad or anything. He was just like, I'm your father, I'm your dad, I'm the dad that stepped up. So I'm very grateful for him, but like to this day, doing soul searching and therapy, I was just like, if I did have my dad, I would know, I would have, had, his perspective of how boys are and things like that, and I didn't have that. And here it is, what happened to me, I ended up, confiding in my child's father and, having a baby. But I didn't like really care. I just pushed forward because I was always told that I wasn't gonna graduate high school because, I had a baby, but I did. And then I was told I wouldn't graduate college because I had a baby, but I did with honors. And I was told I wasn't going to graduate with my master's because I had 3 kids by then, but I did with honors. So I was just a person where you can tell me all day that I couldn't do something, but I'm going to eat it up like Captain Crunch, but I'm going to have to eat it on you because I'm going to have to let you know. You cannot tell me I can't do anything because as long as the sky's the limit, then I'm going to grab it. I'm going to do what I got to do.
Come on. It couldn't be, It couldn't be Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Captain Crunch, I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but
Fruity Pebbles,
whatever. Because I was that thing
Frosted Flakes.
Okay. Cause I was like, if they was a dog, they gonna eat it up like kibbles and bits, but I'm gonna do it.
Come on.
Whatever you think of me, it's like it's not what you think who I am. It's what I know I am, and I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do, and that's what I did. And with my kid, it's like, okay, I'm a teenage mama. I don't know it, but we gonna figure it out together. And the fact is that she loved me unconditionally, flaws and all. I was gonna make something happen at the end of the day. So it didn't really bother me because I it's like now reflecting. You had people that would talk and say things, but it's like then you was like this, and then I'm like this now. So it's just like. And I just let that issue just roll off my shoulders.
Don't brush your shoulders off.
Okay.
Let me find out. Because that was going to lead my next question. How did it affect your studies at school? You finished school. You did all your extracurricular activities. You got your bachelor. Girl, what's your bachelor's in? Tell me something. And from where?
I graduated from Harris Stowe State University, the illustrious Harris Stowe, because I love my HSSU, because HSU is my HBCU. So I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice.
She crazy, y'all. Give it to us.
And then I went to Washington University.
Come on.
And I got my master's in legal studies.
Come on.
And I'm an investigator with the Missouri State Public Defender's Office.
Come on. And you had your baby when?
When I was 17.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Woo! Alicia, you got to get the people what they want. Alicia, tell us. You had yours back in 1991. But we ain't going to say how old nobody is here, okay? 1991.
But Alicia probably don't look like it.
Girl, come on now. You know that.
Because we don't crack.
You know what to say. Woo! Hey, and so how did it affect your studies at school? Tell me something.
Check my resume.
Pow! You got to give us what we want, Alicia.
Alicia, tell us something.
Good people, let me tell you what I've done. Yes, Shannon, I heard that too. Oh, she not going to graduate. She not going to go to college. But, I too went to school 12 years after the regular 12 years. I got my high school diploma. I graduated from South County Tech as a CNA. I graduated from Forest Park with an applied associate in social science. My major was early care education. I graduated with a BBA from Fontbonne, and I graduated with an MBA from Fontbonne.
Come on.
And they say teen mamas can't do it.
You know what? What's that song? Unstoppable Hell. That's me.
Okay.
Listen, if you got the drive, no matter your circumstances, if you got the drive and the determination and the perseverance and all that character that come with it, you going to make something shake.
Yes, because you got to think about it. Can't nobody stop you but you.
Nerdy.
That's it.
I ain't got no kids. My bad.
Can't nobody stop you but you.
You got a baby. You a mother.
I got a godson.
It's that motivation.
I just graduated from
Eureka.
Eureka.
That motivation, because it's like when you see them kids, you just push for it.
It's something for the kids. I got a whole lot of kids. I got a whole lot of kids. My baby's probably
Angel love the kids.
Angel love. I'm just a Eureka High School graduate. I'm just trying to be great.
Oh, you gonna leave the homecoming queen out?
Okay. You know what? See, Shannon over here know my life. I was homecoming queen.
You always gotta
You know, I was homecoming queen.
You're
you know,
homecoming queen.
I did receive the Glory of Missouri Award.
Okay.
House of Representatives.
Okay.
You know, I got a degree from the Missouri State University
Okay.
in criminology.
And what else?
I got a master's. I got
from
an MSCJ from Columbia.
Okay.
Criminal justice with an emphasis in law enforcement administration and leadership. I'm just trying to help out.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get the people. I'm trying to help the kids, man.
Okay.
Get these kids a voice. Somebody got to hear these babies.
Okay.
Because they crying out for help. And I heard them.
But that's what you're here for.
You know what to say. You know what to say. You know what to say. You know what? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the social life, the social aspect of things. I talked to Alicia earlier a little bit about this. So we're going to start with you, Alicia. Tell me about how having a baby and having to grow up so fast affected your social life as compared to then and now. Talk to me.
Well, I just going to say what social life back in 1991. but the thing is, like Shannon said, being an introvert, I mean, it didn't bother me. I did at times want to go hang out with my cousins and stuff, but when I saw my baby, I knew I had to do what I had to do. So that a lot of those little childish ways went out the window right away. When they brought her to me and I put her in my arms, I said, this is it. It's time for me to be an adult. Everything, the things I used to do, I can't do them anymore. So I was still young, so I knew my possibilities after I raised my child. But see, she became my best friend. So instead of going out to clubs and stuff, I was going to the zoo. We were having picnics.
Come on.
And the thing about having her was she was my protector. God sent her to me to make sure that fulfill my emotional and my mental state of mind that was being neglected by others that I felt should have been there for me. She fulfilled all of that. So my social life was surrounded with my children. But compared to 1991 and now,
2022?
Well, 1991 and 2022.
Huh.
Like Bobby B, it's my prerogative. I do what I want to do.
You better say that.
You ain't got no more babies, huh?
Hell no. If I decide to have one, but right now I'm just flying free. You hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 adult babies.
Okay.
They still my babies.
Hey, you know what? And you got one in the military, right?
Yes, I do.
Shout out to that man. Shout out. What's his name?
Muhammad Long Bay. I can hear him now. Hey, Angel.
Hey, I tell you, my baby, he in the military. Shout out to the people doing the workforce in the military. Good gracious, they doing big things. They doing big things. We love our military, our soldiers in arms.
That's right.
Shannon, what about your social life back in 2003, 2004?
I mean, we ain't really had cell phones, so I ain't really care.
Come on, man. Whew.
I
We
had a
ain't
pager,
have-
but
you had a what? Oh,
pager.
what is that? That's what the kids say these
don't
days.
know nothing about that. But I didn't. It didn't really affect my social life or anything. It was just like, I just wanted to grind. Like I gotta take care of my kid, and she was my buddy. Like, like we thugged it out. So I just didn't really care. Now,
What we doing, huh?
she graduated from high school this
Okay.
past May.
Okay.
And she's going to my alma mater,
Oh.
the illustrious Harriet State University. She's going to go major in secondary education, so I'm very proud of her. I've always been transparent. I wouldn't say she wasn't my best friend, because I used to tell her, look, you got to know the difference between your mama and your friends. I'm not your friend, but, we can talk about whatever, whenever, but I used to always tell her, I'm going to keep it funky with you. Mom, I'm finna tell you the truth.
That's true.
Got to keep it funky with the babies, man.
And I tell her I'm going to keep it funky with you. So, our relationship, we're still close. But like we did episode 1, season 2, communication. So, Of course, her dad decided not to be in her life because he then I had to be with him in order for him to take care of her. So,
See that a lot these days, which is unfortunate. So I hope
Yeah.
some men or women are listening to this so they, understand that it affects children. That young lady.
definitely. So she, went through some stuff and for as acceptance and not feeling love, but thank God I've been with my guy for 14 years since she was 3. So he was the dad that stepped up, and she had that father figure, and not only that, my mom's husband. So now it's just I just advocate to her and I just tell her one of my biggest pet peeves that people used to be like, oh, your daughter broke the curse. What curse? Because my mom was a teen mother and she had me when she was 16, and I was a teen mother and had my daughter at 17. There's no curse, because at the end of the day, my mama had her own story to tell, and like I have mine. But I had to let my kid know. Back then, there was really no communication for as what will happen when you have sex and all of that. But now it's like I have it with my daughter where I have a conversation. I'm open with her. She's very transparent with me. Because I used to tell her, I don't want to be that parent that find out my kid is doing something from somebody in the street. I want to be in the know. I want to know what you're doing. You 18 and you got an iPhone and I know where your location at right now because my pull-up game tight. So I want to know where you at. So
Right. Safety
it
is
was
sexy.
just like I never like I would tell her, like she know about things that happened to me, and I was just always transparent because my main priority was to make sure she's protected and she's safe, and that we can have this relationship where she can talk to me about anything. So now I got 3 kids all together, and they're all 6 years apart. And I'm trying to be like Alicia when I grow up, because when my 7-year-old turn 18, I'm going to have to do the crip walk. Because I can't wait, because I tell them all the time, I can't wait till y'all grown on your own. I'm going to come over your house. I'm going to eat your chips. I'm going to leave food everywhere. I'm going to go smear toothpaste on your mirror. I'm finna tear your house up like you. So that's all I'm doing. I'm counting down so everybody get out so I can go over there and mess up their house and probably cut the water on in the sink and leave. And then like, oh, mama, you was here in my house. Yep, I'm going to make some noodles in your microwave. And I'm going to eat a couple spoons of them and leave the noodles on the stove or on the table. I'm gonna get y'all back, but
Okay.
that's it.
You know what you mentioned when they said break the break the cycle, or
Right, it was a curse. It wasn't a curse. It was like a cycle. Like everybody
Yeah.
had a story, and that's like
But that's the thing I want to hit
it's
on.
like you don't know my story
Right.
and the things that I went through. You
Right.
don't know my pain, so you can't sit
Right.
up here and
You
say
say
like
nothing about
it's
no
a
cycle.
It ain't no. It's none of that. It was just like, and I had to tell her, and she was like, it's not. Like, I used to always think I was a bad mama because I was just always in school. But I was blessed that I was able to get my kids up and take them to school. And then I go to school, and then I come home. I pick them up, take them to my mama's house, then I go to work. And it was just my little everyday routine. And it was times where, like, I used to be in the shower crying while my kids sleep because I felt like a bad mama. I'm going to school. I'm trying to do this. And my kid had to tell me, you're not a bad mama. I'm proud of you. So that was my motivation I needed. Like, okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I didn't cry at my graduations, but they did, because that showed me that my kids are proud of me. And the fact is that I wanted to be a role model. I can sit up here and tell you what to do until I'm blue in the face, but it doesn't mean nothing if I'm not doing the same thing.
Right.
So I felt like in order for me to, tell you, okay, you got to do this, 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 this. But I didn't want my kids to be like, so what? You didn't do it.
Right.
Just like
That's
everybody.
you a hypocrite, mama.
Okay, just like before, in between me getting my bachelor's degree, I took a break and went to beauty school and got my license to do hair.
Oh, come on.
And my grandmother was like, when you going back to school? Oh, grandma, I'm going to go back. But, hey, I was working in the shop, so I was making all the money. I ain't care. But once my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer and I watched her take chemo and didn't complain and didn't cry, I was like, I'm gonna go back to school. My grandma wanted me to go back to school. I made that promise to my grandma that I was gonna go back to school, and like the next day she passed away, and I ended up finishing my last 2 years. I did them. I took no break, so I went fall semester, spring semester, summer one, summer two, because that was the motivation I need, because I was like, I'm not going to give up. I made a promise to my grandma, and I'm sitting up here telling my kids, so whether you have a trade, you go to college, you whatever, the sky is the limit. So whatever you choose to do, then you do it.
I'm just here to help. I'm just behind the mic over here. I'm just Angel. Peaches.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
you feeling, Miss Marie? Good grace. Shoot.
Hey, you know what? I'm on this earth to do a job. God gave me an assignment,
That's
and I
right.
believe
Come
that
on.
I followed that assignment.
That's
So,
right.
Come on.
you know, I understood the assignment. So
Okay, and slave.
I don't have any regrets. It was never a curse to bring a life into this world. So I can't live saying I regret having a child at a young age. It made me grow up.
That's right.
Come on.
And
I can agree to
it
that
made me
with you.
grow up. And as far as my children, I talk like you. I'm transparent. I talk to them about everything, but I don't let them know everything that I
That's
do
right.
because they still my children. But whatever it is, I support them as long as there's something they doing that's right. And as far as what they think of me, I let them know. I had a choice for you to be here or not. You here, right?
Right.
So I'm your mother, and I raised you as my child, being the mother that I knew how to be, that I learned how to be. It's not an instruction guide to being a
That's
parent.
all right.
Show A.
That's
We
right.
all walk that journey together, my children. And I could say, I'm not done growing up, and they still growing with me, but I feel blessed to have had my children. And yes, I was told, Shannon, you're not gonna graduate. I had some so-called friends that when I came back to school, they said, Where were you at? I had a baby. Girl, you were so smart. Having a baby, I'm still intelligent. You
Okay.
copying off my homework.
Okay.
I'm not copying off
on.
yours.
Come
I'm
on.
still intelligent. So I never cared about what people thought anyway about me. It is what it is, and that's why I go by the term of Marie. I was determined,
Come on.
because I'm not a person of many words. I'm a person of actions.
That's
Angel
right.
know that.
Come on. I'm here for it. I'm here
I
for
can
it.
show you
Better
like
than
I'm
I
from
can
the
tell
Chinese
you.
state.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Show
She
and
know
tell.
the day
Say
that
it
I
loud
got
so the
my
people in the back
MBA.
row can hear
The
you.
day that I got my MBA, Angel came to my graduation. No one knew that I was even in school.
Somebody, you got to get a people what they want.
But I invited her. I invited my mother and my stepdad. I called them. I said, what y'all doing? Nothing. Why? What's going on? You want to come to my graduation? What graduation? Oh, I'm getting my MBA. It ain't nothing. Just come
Right.
through. Slide through. Come see me.
You know what I'm saying? Come see what's going
That's
on.
right.
Come see me in this cap real quick one time for the one times. Man, look at that, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. To be able to, you don't gotta brag on it. It's just to look at it and say, you know what? I remember when. We all can say, I remember when this person said this person said that. And it just make you feel good to know that you were able to have enough strength and confidence and everything to block out that negativity. Because when people go out their way to say that, it's like, you know what? Why don't you just uplift me instead? Oh man, why you do that? Just uplift me, man. I might already be beating myself up.
Okay.
And then you gonna come and kick me while I'm already down. And you kick me in my head. You know what I'm saying? You're just kicking me all over the place. It's like, man, come on now. But see, now y'all can travel. Y'all do all those things. And you look at it and be like, huh? And then you get on the Angels Online and you help other kids. There are so many parents right now who are teen parents who are talked about, judged, went through worse situations than y'all probably did, who probably just needed to hear you say your stories. And so they could say, you know what? The hell with what they all talking about. Shannon and Determined Marie did that. Shoo. We can all make some shake. You might just have somebody going back to school and you don't even know it.
And the thing is, now you have more resources.
Whew.
Because that's probably something.
Way more than what we had.
And you got a cell phone with the internet that's really
So
a computer.
you can learn. And it was.
You had a pager. You heard me? I had to go to the payphone. So,
I had to go to I had to use the payphone or go to somebody's house to call my mama back.
Pay phone. Put them quarters in.
There was no social media then.
Okay.
There was no Wi-Fi.
And it wasn't no GPS to get you from here and there.
Man.
And you was walking. It wasn't no Uber.
We knew the bus.
wasn't no
we
bus
had them
tickets, I tell you what.
That paper bus schedule.
Come on.
Can I see your
Y'all know what time the bus come?
Okay.
It's just me and my baby walking down California in that little bitty stroller, that $20 stroller. That but I'm stepping, fetching. You hear
We
me?
out here.
We out here, baby.
Period.
Man, I ain't got no money for a whole box of rice, but I'm gonna get the half one
I'm
and
gonna
tell
get the
them.
half for the
And
shrimp
I
fried rice.
didn't have all the fancy clothes, but my kid was fresh to
I'm gonna
death.
get, and stuff was cheaper back then. Let me get a half for the shrimp for that. Let me.
And tell her put it in a bigger box. Pay a
Okay.
little bit box.
Period.
Shout out to my mama, cause she'll go to Jack in the Box in a minute, boy. I knew how much it was, boy. I knew. I got $1.07. I need a breakfast jack.
Man, my kid
$2.15.
was,
I need a breakfast jack and two tacos. You know what I'm saying? We know.
I heard what you said, Shannon. I heard what you said. And when you said, because it's so many sacrifices and compromises you have to make, but that's when you know you're a mother, when you can look down at yourself and say, hey, this all I got, but my kid's fresh to death.
Okay.
I don't care what I got on. Look at that little girl right there. She clean as I don't know what.
That's
Period.
it.
That's a sacrifice.
That's
Yep.
it. That's what it is. That's what it is. Cause I don't remember looking dirty.
And that's crazy because now when you see my kids, they be like, oh, she must spend a lot of money. If I did, I mean, that's my business, but no.
It's our time, right?
Okay.
Like Mary said, take these shackles off my feet so I can
Okay.
dance.
Peaches out. You sound like you dancing over there.
Okay.
I am
Kelly
dancing.
Price got a song called It's My Time.
That's right.
It's my time. I don't care.
You got to do it.
Your mama dressed you and did. And did. I sure did. Don't she look presentable? Dang, your mama do your uniforms like that, and I did, because I want my kids to have her own identity. Like, let her be great. Whatever she
Man.
want to do, she want to add a purse, a bow tie, whatever to her uniform, I let her be great. Go
That's
right
it.
ahead.
That's
Do
it.
you.
You gotta let these kids be great. Don't fit into the social norm, because the social norm will have you losing your marbles.
Yeah.
Losing your marbles. Grow who
Because
you
you're
are.
too busy trying to fit up into what society, like their standards and what they want you to be.
Everybody's situation is different.
It's set up for failure. That's
It
why
sure is.
I moved my children to the country. I told my daughter, you want some custom made shoes. Baby, I got some permanent markers in there. My daughter was drawing on shoes before they was even making Jordans. I tell you.
Taught them early.
So,
Taught them early. We ain't got it, but I bet you can make it.
Right.
And then
That's
look,
right.
look at now.
And she
Everybody
perfected
drawing
that
on
craft.
shoes, and it's acceptable. it's the norm. Everybody getting shoes custom made with markers and everything
Yeah.
else. With all of the technology and the artistry we got going on, a lot of stuff it wasn't looked at as, it wasn't popular back then.
Right.
You know. And then once it get popular, it's like, man, I've been doing that. Yeah. Good people.
Good people.
Come on.
good people.
Come on. You know
Get it for
what?
the one time, Ronda.
You got to get the people
That's
what
right.
they want. Man, ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. You know what? Before I even end this, I want to know, do you have any advice for these young children out here, boys, girls, about being teen parents? Wait for it. How is it? You know, just, you know, I mean, this young, matter of fact, this young lady, she said, my mother got pregnant at 16. My dad was 17. My granny was upset. But growing up, it was always fun, and my mom made sure I always had a good time.
That's right.
If you have a kid, do what you do, but you still have time to grow up, and you're still finding your way through this world. This is what this young person said to me. They said, you're still finding your way. So, you know, my mom's 30, and we just trying to be great, you know. And simple as that. This child simply said, flat out, you still got time to grow up. And that's the message from whatever child wrote this entire letter. You only get a piece of it, baby, because they have confidentiality from the Miss Ramsey. So, season 2 is brought to you by the youth, just so you reminded. Shannon, what advice do you have for these kids out here? It don't matter what it is.
I mean, I can tell you all day, I can't say don't have sex or whatever, but you know, you're gonna do what you want to do. But if that's what you're gonna do, if anything, that's what your mama, your daddy, you know, somebody you feel comfortable with that's an adult, and you let them know that you have that interest and that's something you want to do. So that way, you know, you can talk to your mom and she can go ahead and, you know, put you on birth control, or dad can give the son condoms or whatever. It's just like, just being vocal, because nobody's going to judge you. I mean, that's not what your parent is put here for, to judge you. I mean, if that's something you're interested in, but always, you know, be safe. But like I told my daughter, live. You a kid. Live your life to the fullest. You know, when you become a parent, I don't want to make it seem like, you know, it's all, you know, peaches and cream and it's all gravy and rainbows and cupcakes. It's hard. But I know, like, my kid, and I know what type of person I was. And it's more. It's mental, emotional, financial, like, obligation. And it's just like, if you have a chance to be a teen, be a child, and live your life, because it's like the world is so much bigger than what you think it is. And I don't want to say, you know, you're hindering yourself from being a teen parent, but you kind of are, because you have to grow up, because there's no such thing as, oh, I'm still a teen because I had a baby at 16. No, you're an adult, because you're considered an adult. Just like when you go to college and you want that financial age, you're considered an adult, independent, because you had a child. So live your life, like I tell my kid, live your life limitlessly. You know, go past the stars. Like, whatever it is that you want to do, put your mind to it, and I'm going to be right there. And I'm going to be egging you on. I'm going to be pushing you on. And I know sometimes
Motivation.
Life is going to get the best of you, and you're going to be sad. I'm going to be sitting right there comforting you. At the same time, I'm telling you, keep going. Keep going. If you a teen and you're having sex, please protect yourself. There's birth control, just like there's condoms. But at the same time, I mean, condoms do break. And I had my last 2 kids on birth control, because I was on each one for 5 years. And my body was like, that's it. You know, you on your own. And I got pregnant the last 2 times. So it's just like, even though you think you may be practicing safe sex and you protecting yourself, I mean, your body can reject certain things, and condoms can break, and sometimes they do have holes in them. But if you just, you know, I would say, yes, save you. I mean, if anything, try to save yourself for that right person, because, you know, your virginity is a gift. You don't want to just give it to just anybody. But at the same time,
safety is sexy.
It is.
Safety is sexy. I just wanted to say that. Safety is sexy.
Right.
Amen.
Especially if you're in St. Louis, it's so many different STDs, and a lot of them STDs you can't get rid of. So, I mean,
that's unfortunate.
You know, protect yourself.
Determine Marie, what you got for the people? What advice you got for these kids out here? Because they thinking about it, they wondering about it, and if it ain't normalized in a household, I'm going to normalize it on Angels Online, Voice of the Unheard. Talk to me.
My thing is, everybody writes the story of their life every day.
That's right.
So, if it's something that you don't know, if you don't know, you can't grow.
Come on.
Talk to someone about it. Find someone that you could talk to about your curiosities. That goes for sex or for anything. If you can't talk to a family member, call a counselor, call a librarian. Talk to someone that you feel safe about whatever it is your curiosity is wanting to do. And whatever you feel, whatever is outside of the norm for other people might be the norm for you. Don't feel condemned. Don't beat yourself up. Life goes on. Pick yourself up and try again. bringing a life into the world is not a bad thing,
It's a
but try to
blessing.
do it at an appropriate time in your life when you are a complete adult. And I just want to say that, Angel, thank you. And I know I speak for me and Shannon both for you letting us go back on those life reflections because
Yeah.
it took me back to
Yes.
1991. And that was a voice unheard because once that happened, nobody ever asked me how I felt. What was I
Exactly.
going through? It was scary for me, but I walked through that storm, and it's something that when it happens, it's like a volcano that erupts and it's chaotic, but at the same time, you bringing a life into the world, so that kind of calms that storm. But giving us the opportunity to tell our story, I don't know about you, Shannon, but it made me feel proud because I felt like, you know what? He wasn't so bad after all.
Come on.
All right.
And a lot of people were proven wrong.
Come on.
Yep.
Come on.
And whether they admit it or not, it doesn't matter to me because the only person that I really care about making me feel good is me.
Come on. You know what to
Because
say.
you have to bring the joy and peace of out of yourself. So I never look to anyone to really make me happy. So but my children did.
Yep.
So God know what to do in the time to do it. And that's like I say, I really thank you again, Angels Online, for allowing me to get that unheard voice
Come
out
on.
to the
Come on.
public.
You know what
Right.
to say.
We gonna reach the unheard and
Come on.
a piggyback to go back just a little bit. They don't tell you that by you being a teen parent, they will scare you and let you know, like, hey, you can die having the baby and all that other stuff. But you gotta realize it's just like, yes, that is an outcome of going through being a teen, having a teen pregnancy. Is you can die, you can have issues and complications and things as well, because one, your body is not fully developed, but at the same time it's just like when you have that connection with someone and you curious, just like, please talk to somebody. That's it. But I thank you though, Angel, for you have a story, you need to tell it. And I wasn't even trying to tell my story, but I should never told her that I was gonna volunteer and help, because now she just want me to do everything.
Hey,
but
man, listen. You
I mean,
got to
I'm
give
I'm
people
appreciative.
what they want.
I'm appreciative because I just would never like tell my story. It was just like, hey,
You just sitting in there.
it was
Why?
just like,
Why? You shining light on somebody. You can help somebody.
yeah, and
The
that was
Angels
the
Online.
thing.
Voice of the unheard
That
out
was
here.
the thing.
The Angels Online. Now, I used to say the Angels Online. We coming. We ain't coming no
Yeah.
more. I'm right here. Okay. The Angels Online is here. Voice of the unheard, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Angels Online. If you got questions, if you want to talk to anybody or reach out to anybody that is on the Angels Online, or me, if you got a topic you want me to talk about, you can hit it up at info@theangelsonline.org. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get one more time. Shannon, give me a good people, good people.
Good people, good people.
Alicia, give me a good people, good people.
Good people, good people.
Good people, good people. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, follow me at The Angels Online on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, YouTube at The Angels Online LLC. Do what you do, make something shake, be great, love yourself, love your neighbor. Come on, y'all, you got to get a people what they want. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to The Angels Online, Voice of the Unheard. Please stay tuned for the next episode next Wednesday, each and every Wednesday, and hopefully we motivate, influence, and inspire you. You are someone's angel. Remember, all voices matter. Peace and love from The Angels Online, Voice of the Unheard. Good people, good people.
Go people, go people.